You know what I'm getting?
Yo, what's up, good people? Y'all know what time it is. It's AA Sports, straight sports, no chaser. You got the super team of sports talk here with y'all as usual. Here to give y'all some NFL, NBA news. I'm your boy, Diego Baryshnikov, one half of the team, the Black Dominican Russian, as I like to call myself from time to time. And I'm here with my main man, my partner in crime, my ace, boom, coon, all of that, the roadie. Tell them who you are.
What's good people? It's your boy, Uncle Hate, the other A in AA Sports, and we're here on a Tuesday. First night of the World Series. It's football season. It's a good NBA is back. Great time to be a sports fan. What's good, homie?
Hey, man, I can't call it. Another good week of football, unless you are a 49ers fan. So I'm licking the wound still from that. I think Zeke just scored another touchdown. But outside of that, man, everything good. I can't complain.
I wish you never told me that Zeke looked like one of the ninth member of Full Force, but he really does.
Yeah, he looks just like Buddy. Yeah, he does. And every time I watch House Party, that's what I see him. I see Buddy. I can't think of his name. The dude from Full Force. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. But people, y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that used to wear the cut-up blouses and the thing around his head with the Jerry Curl Mohawk box thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Zeke looked like his son for real.
Absolutely. We might need to do a DNA test on that one. But as usual, people, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Those of y'all that watch us on the YouTube channel, y'all know the routine. Watch, like, and hit that subscribe button. And also, again, thank everyone who listens to us on the Spreaker platform. We appreciate y'all as well. Don't forget, tap that heart, show us some love there. We appreciate any comments and feedback on those platforms. So, y'all know how we do. As we always start our shows off, it is in the club, free before 10 with y'all broke asses. It is open bar. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, started. Oh, hold on. I'm tripping. Open bar. Got to pour it up. First open bar topic tonight. Want to give a shout out to the Cleveland Brown man, Mr. Joe Thomas. He had a streak of, this is unheard of, people, 10,363 snaps. That streak was broken after he suffered a torn triceps that's going to unfortunately end his season. But the man has basically started every single snap since his rookie season. We talk about a lot of Iron Man streaks from Brett Favre and some others. But, hey, to be an offensive lineman, not get rolled up on, nothing, all of that stuff that happens in them trenches, and for him to be clean and play that many snaps in a row, hey, man, applause to you. What you got here? I see you raising your hand.
Can I nominate him for the Kevin Garnett I should have asked for a trade years ago award?
He loved his beloved Cleveland like KG was loving his beloved soda.
Bro, he been there a lot of years. How many regimes has he seen, give or take? 4 or 5?
Shit, probably more than that. I remember it was before the season started, sometime during training camp, I believe. There was an interview with him, and they had like a little game they were playing with him and asked him to name every quarterback he's blocked for, and it was something like 20 or 30 cats, and he named every single one of them.
He done played all them snaps, went to camp on time, ain't complained about nothing for the Cleveland Browns.
For the Browns.
Might be worse than Kevin Garnett.
You're absolutely right, because at least Kevin Garnett, didn't do it with a smile on his face. Joe Thomas did it with a smile on his face.
With a smile.
So
you only played 16 games in the NFL, and you walk into every game knowing damn well you probably going to lose.
Right. Knowing by probably Thanksgiving, your season is a wrap. You don't need to you can make, ski trip plans for January, whatever, because you ain't going to be in the playoffs. I'll say this: a lot of you young cats, and we'll get to one because I got one. I need to we need to talk to him a little bit later on. But a lot of you young cats can learn something from a guy like Joe Thomas. Go out there, play
trade, Joe.
Go out there, play ball.
Get out of there.
All right. Now, for our second open bar topic, this ain't even a shout out. This is a what the hell was you doing? Former Indianapolis Colts defensive end Robert Mathis, who is now a defensive end consultant or something like that with the team.
Teaching them boys how to pass rush.
Okay. Nice little cushiony job, to kind of get your foot in the door coaching if you want to be a coach in the long run. Well, he may have put that job in jeopardy by catching the DUI over the weekend. Now, we always preach, hey, man, Uber is cheap. Call us. We'll come scoop you up. Get a car service. Do something. But these cats still out here keep driving around drunk, man. I don't get it.
There's no excuse for a rich person to get a DUI. Now, middle-class fellas like ourselves, I done drove drunk many a night. But a rich person, there's no reason. Absolutely no reason. And he's way too big for this. He got to be older than us. Catching a DUI? Come on, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he probably around our age. You keep forgetting that we, pushing 40. So yeah, he's probably about our age. So I'm gonna say I don't think anybody's immune to getting a DUI. I don't care whether you're broke or not. Don't get in that damn car if you don't think you can ride. Now, yeah,
his job ain't in jeopardy. I don't believe that. Big Jim get charged? Good.
Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I mean, he's a lifelong Colt, player. If he was with some other franchise, and maybe they might think about firing him. But I think he'll be all right. It was funny because I pulled up when I saw his mugshot. I immediately thought he looked like Charlamagne the God. And, of course, those of y'all that's on Spreaker can't see this. Those of y'all watching on YouTube, y'all tell me what y'all think.
That's that boy daddy. That's that boy daddy, man.
Robert Mathis is Charlamagne the God. Charlamagne the God is Robert Mathis. They look like they could damn sure be brothers.
That's that boy daddy. What they say in life? I'm that boy Pappy.
All right, Robert Mathis wants you to do better, man. Be a good example for these youngers out here, man. Get an Uber, dog.
Yeah, it's not even that expensive, cuz. Get an Uber. But he'll have a job. Big Jim shows love.
Right.
Let's jump on into these games. It's week 7. This season is flying by, homie. It's flying by.
Yes, sir.
We have come to the first game we're gonna do is the Super Bowl rematch. The New England Patriots and the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, hold on, dog. Before we get to that, we got to get at least a score from another games, right?
I'm sorry. I'm moving fast. All right, the Chiefs got Oakland. Oakland got the Chiefs 31-30. My Carolina Panthers laid an egg 17-3 to the Bears. New England 23-7 over Atlanta. Buffalo 30-27 over Tampa. Tyrod came through. The Titans beat the Browns 12-9. Terrible game. New Orleans went up there and won in Green Bay 26-17. The Jacksonville Savages 27-0 over the Colts. The LA Rams 33-0 over Arizona. Not a field goal. Not one. The Miami Dolphins 31-28 over the Jets. Jets gave that game away. Just gave it away. Minnesota Vikings 24-16 over the Ravens. The Cowboys 40-10 over that team out of San Francisco. The Seattle Seahawks 24-7 over the Giants. That game was a little bit closer than this score indicates. The Giants is in that game.
Yeah, it was 10-7 for the longest for Seattle put up 2 touchdowns late.
Yeah. Cincy lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers 29-14. The Los Angeles Chargers 21-0 over Denver. 21-0.
Hey, Trevor Siemian is a problem.
Boy, he done turned back to Cinderella in a heartbeat, hadn't he?
Real quick.
And the Philadelphia Eagles 34 to the Washington Redskins 24 last night on Monday Night Football.
Right. So those are the games from Week 7. One thing I wanted to point out before we jump into our 5-game breakdown of some of these games.
Go ahead.
some of with all those scores that we were looking at, you just ran them off, of course. Eight out of the 15 games, the losing team scored 10 or less points. And then three of them teams had 0, and the Panthers had 3. So we got a lot of offensive, a lot of teams that are not putting up anything remotely close to a sufficient offense.
Well, 6 of them teams are on my chumps list for the week because they ain't scored but 7 or below. Yep. 16. That's terrible. Terrible. The Colts. Andrew Luck ain't playing this year.
I mean, he say he is, so.
Why would they at this point? They won one game, right?
Nah, they like 2 and 3. I think they won 2 games. There was only like 1 game out of the division before this week started.
I know they beat the Browns. I got to look back and see who that second team they beat was.
They beat the 49ers.
Oh, they beat y'all?
Yeah, they beat us the week before last.
Oh, that's right. That came late.
Yeah.
Because y'all was in that game the whole time.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they say this past week was the only week out of the 7 weeks where we actually looked like an 0-7 team. So, yeah, all the rest of the games we were in didn't win. This one wasn't even close.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question. Does Larry Fitzgerald walk in that office and say, I want out of here?
Nah, not Larry Fitzgerald. Of course not.
I mean, if you say you thinking about retiring this year anyway, Carson Palmer's out 8 weeks. You going to deal with Drew Stanton for the next 8 weeks?
You got to think about who we dealing with. This ain't Dez Bryant, Antonio Brown. This is not a diva receiver. He's a team guy. He's always said the right things, done the right things. He is the model of what you want a guy in your one of your main guys in your franchise to be. He's not going to go ask for no trade.
Do you think they take calls on him?
I mean, yeah, somebody called him with a nice package, but what are you realistically going to offer for a 35-year-old receiver / tight end?
I don't even know where he would go, but I saw some stories about it today, and that kind of made sense. I'm like, Carson's gone. Adrian Peterson just got terrible luck.
Yeah,
what else?
It make all the logistics sense, but just knowing the kind of cat he is, I just don't see it happening.
He got so much left, though. I guess that's the crazy thing. He got so much left. He's talking about retiring this summer. But you put him on the team where he's not the number 1, he's your 2 or 3, he got something left to give, but it ain't going to be this year. It ain't going to be this year.
Nah.
Okay, I got to ask you this. This is a friend of mine wanted me to ask you this. Should he be concerned about Carolina?
About the Panthers?
Yep.
In what regard?
That's 2 straight losses. We should have won both of these last 2 games. You can't put everything on Cam, but we didn't get it done. That boy threw 7 passes and we lost.
I'll say this. I don't think it's time to panic because the game against the Eagles, that was a close game. You know what I'm saying? You just didn't pull it out. This past game, the offense, you can say it was the Bears. Bears got a nice defense.
Yes, they do.
Carolina was able to move the ball in some spots, but they just couldn't punch it in. If you look, and then the Bears' 2 touchdowns came off of interception and a punt return. A fumble return for a touchdown. So they didn't really do anything offensively either. You take out those mistakes, and and it's a game. So no, I don't think it's time to panic, especially in a season like this where from week to week you really don't know who's gonna win because everybody's record is around the same. You really don't have anybody running away with anything. I mean, you look at Kansas City; they started off with 5-0. They've dropped 2 in a row.
Right.
So just due to that, I don't think it's a time to panic.
Dig that.
A lot of football left.
Dig that. All right, you got anything else on the rest of the games before we jump into the breakdowns?
Let's see. We're gonna get into the breakdowns.
All right, let's jump in the Super Bowl matchup, the rematch. New England Patriots at the Atlanta Falcons. I was on this show last Thursday, and I said I was going to take the Atlanta Falcons because I felt like everybody has gone into Foxborough. Even not in Foxborough, wherever you played the Patriots, you're putting up 300 yards. I believed in that. I thought this was the get right game. That shit didn't work out that way. They put up 7 points. Is this the time for them to be worried? Because that's what, 2 straight, right?
No, that's 3 straight because they lost to Buffalo before they bye at home.
Oh, shit, that is 3.
They came off the bye, lost to Miami at home, and then they just lost to the Patriots. Now, they're going to the Jets next. Now, I'm concerned right now, just off of those last 3 losses, if they go and lose to the Jets, you really got a fucking problem.
They were 2 plays away from being what? 1-5?
They are what? They're 3-3. So yeah. No, 1-5. Yeah.
2 plays away.
Right. I mean, when you talk about New England, they've been giving up a lot of 300, a lot of yards to passers. You're talking about everybody has thrown over 300 yards. But defensively, I think they're starting to do some things different and make some strides there. Because I wasn't impressed with Atlanta's play calling in this last game, and they really could have been out there running the damn wing T for some of the shit that they were doing.
Let me ask you this before we move forward. Why do you give that boy $40 million guaranteed if you're only going to run him 12 times?
Highest paid running back in the league. I was thinking that watching the game. So definitely question. Now, when he was trying to run, I think the first half were they stopping him a little bit first half? I know he got 12 carries for 72 yards, but don't say some of that came off of 2 big runs maybe. It seemed like they weren't really – because they weren't it seemed like they weren't really moving the ball as much as they as well as they could have first half. The thing to me, because they were only 2 for 9 on third down. So they just were not able to sustain enough drives, especially in that first half. One of the mistakes I think that they made right before the half is about they were at right around midfield, and they go for it on 4th and 6.
I don't understand that.
You don't give Tom Brady a whole field with 2 minutes left, much less a half a field at home. So that was, to me, was a turning point in the game because they went down there and scored that touchdown. It was a 3-score game. That pretty much put a bow on it.
It's like, I get him trying to be aggressive, but he does this shit and they lose games. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about Dan Quinn. Because in my mind, I flash back to the Chargers game last year in the Dome and the Green Bay game in the Dome. Now, I think they won the Green Bay game, but he went for it on 4th a lot when he shouldn't have. What is he trying to prove? Punt the ball. Don't give them half a field. I don't get it.
Now, I know they went for it a lot last year because, they had the highest potent or the highest potent. That's not grammatically correct. They had the most potent offense last year in the league, so they just felt that they could go for it whenever as long as it was manageable. So, I understand they thought process last year. But this year, it ain't been working like that. So I don't understand what they were trying to do. Yeah, you wanted to probably try to get a score before the half ended, but you cannot go for that on 4th and 6, maybe 4th and 1.
Right. You know how arrogant that is to go for it on 4th and 6?
Right. Bill Belichick was probably sitting over there like, for real? You're not playing Cleveland.
That's saying y'all defense ain't shit. We're good.
Yeah.
4th and 6?
Yeah.
At least he threw the ball to Julio this game. At least.
Yeah, I'm going to say they did start to get the ball to Julio. Now, a lot of that was second half after the game was kind of out of reach. But they did target him more. Sanu, it was good to have Sanu back too.
Yeah.
But again, with all that said, they didn't do anything with it. I see a big problem defensively. They're not stopping the run. You had little Deion Lewis little ass come in there and get 13 carries or 76 yards, 78 yards. Yeah, 76 yards. So
you call him a little man, cuz.
I mean, he's short in stature, man. He's a little guy.
Bruh, they're built to pass rush. They're not built to stop the run. They're smaller.
Yeah, because they got smaller linebackers. I seen today, and this is how you know shit getting bad. It's probably
I know where you going.
But they re-signed Sean Witherspoon for the 5th or 6th time. They keep bringing him back after they cut him. I think he was done the first. He was done the first 2 times you re-signed him.
Right. Didn't they bring him back last year for a hot second?
They brought him back last year.
And he got hurt again?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Spoon kind of reminds me, I ain't gonna say he remind me he's not the same player, but the way Bowman, after he tore his Achilles and had them knee injuries or whatever, the explosiveness is just not there. And that was the last big injury, Witherspoon had. He tore that Achilles and he ain't been the same since. So I'm not sure what, they're just bringing him in for some veteran leadership because they are young on defense for the most part. Freeney's not there no more. I think he was a vet leader last year.
I thought they were going to bring Freeney back in. Freeney's visiting Seattle this week.
Right.
I really thought they were going to bring him back, but
hey man, maybe Freeney didn't even pick up the phone.
All right. So you said you're a little concerned, but you're not there just yet.
No, I'm concerned. There's more than a little. But again, I ain't gonna say panic mode just yet because they're still in it. They're still in the hunt for the division. They can still, turn it around and get to the playoffs, but they got to start like next week. They got to start this game against the Jets.
I'm gonna put it this way: is the water to your waist or to your ankles?
It's ankle right now.
Okay, so you good then?
It's ankle, but it's getting up toward the knee. You know what I'm saying? It's getting to the point you got to roll them pants legs up. You got to roll them pants legs up.
Okay, so as long as it's to your ankles, almost to the knee, we'll see what happens Sunday. We come back here next Tuesday and they lost to the Jets. That's another conversation.
Yeah. Now, if they lose to the Jets, then and my respect to anybody that's went through a hurricane recently, I don't mean this disrespectfully, but just based on the analogy that we just used about water coming to the ankles, if they lose to the Jets, that water gonna be chest high. That water gonna be chest high.
All right, let's move on to the Thursday night game. These Thursday night games have been rather good this year. I'm not watching the one this week because it's gonna be ass. It's Baltimore and Miami. I ain't watching that. We can do a whole show Thursday. We ain't got to worry jumping off of that game. But Kansas City, they started off 5-0. They lost 2 in a row. 5-2 is not a bad record at all.
No, not at all.
But are you a mite concerned? Because I'm a mite concerned about them.
I'm not because coming into the season, I didn't even have Kansas City pick to win this division. I had Oakland. And I want to say I had Denver as the second best team in this division. So it was a little surprising that they came out the gate the way that they did. And a lot of it is due to Alex Smith's play, which again,
not the offense at all. It's not them. It's the defense.
It's the defense. And when you lose guys like Barry, in the secondary, that hurts.
Don't they miss him right now?
Oh yeah,
because killing them right now.
Because Amari Cooper would not have been running loose in that secondary the way he was that first half if Eric Berry had been back there. And they're missing some other guys too. So, yeah.
But I guess my thing with Cooper, I don't understand why Peters didn't follow. Because the boy had 19 targets on the game. They were trying to force feed him that ball. With Berry, I was more concerned about Jared Cook. I don't believe that Jared Cook stuff far as I can throw it, because if y'all drink that Kool-Aid and think he's gonna keep catching 6 or 7 targets, that's on y'all. He's balling early season like he tends to do, but Eric Berry would have shut that part of it down, I believe.
Right. I mean, you talk about Marcus Peters. To me, and I think we've discussed it a couple times on the show. To me, Crabtree is the number 1 receiver on that team.
I agree.
And Crabtree is more physical. So I think that's why Peters was on Crabtree and not on Coop.
Should they adjust it though? When he went off, that was first half just about.
Right. I'm gonna say second half they kind of tamed and shut it down a little bit. Did he score both touchdowns in the first half?
I want to say most of his work was in the first half.
Yeah, it was in the first half. He got a few more catches second half, but in the crunch time we saw who David Carr was going to. He was going to Crab.
He's going to Crab.
On the big third downs, when they needed a big play to keep drives going, he was looking for Crab.
I got a bold question to ask you. Is Crab damn near the best red zone wide receiver?
In the league?
Yeah. I kind of like him red zone in the league, cuz.
I still like Julio. even though he's not
You
getting.
throw him the ball. You can't even say that.
I guess I'm looking at it two different ways. What's actually happening, then yeah, you can say Crab. But if they were to get him the ball, then it's Julio hands down.
I agree. If they get him the ball.
Yeah, but based on the production and based on what's happening, yeah, Crab is up there. I can't really think of anybody else right now off the top of my head. Larry Fitzgerald, they look for him a lot in the red zone.
They do.
Talk about him. But a lot of the big name receivers are down this year, numbers wise.
You said that to me early on the side. We were talking about the show. It really has been a down year for wide receivers.
Yeah.
And you think all you got to do is run into a corner and throw your hand in the air. You're going to get a pass interference off top. But these cats are down. They're down. But
quarterback play.
Let's get back to this game. Marshawn Lynch. We've been talking about this for about 3 weeks now. 3 weeks now. And I know I said at least 2 of them ago, he's more a mascot than a running back for this team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's turning into that. It shouldn't be that way.
It should.
From the start of the season, I thought he would come in. I didn't think that his production was going to equal the hype. So I think I had him going maybe between 800 and maybe 1,000 yards tops. But the offensive line hadn't been playing good, so that reflects on him as well. But this shit that he pulled Thursday night, I mean, you on the sideline and you run on the field to break up, get involved, whatever, into a scrum and yoke up a referee. It's like, did you black out? What was that shit about?
He yoked that ref up. Yoked him up. And actually had the audacity to request an appeal. How do you explain that?
I would love to see a transcript from the appeal because Marcus Peters testified too. So
I know they homies. I get that. But he yoked up a ref.
Right. I mean, the only thing he could say during the appeal was, I was out there really to try to break it up because I didn't want my teammates beating up my homeboy from childhood. And I got away from myself. I didn't know it was a ref, but he couldn't say that because you're looking them dead in the face.
That was his best run this season. Didn't he look fast running on that damn field?
Yeah, he got out there real quick. Going forward though, because after he left, Washington early, seemed like the offense opened up a little more. I would consider, I ain't gonna say benching them. Of course, they probably gonna start him, but starting to get Washington and Richard more carries, get them more involved because they're a little more versatile.
Marshawn ain't gonna catch the ball out the backfield like he used to. Washington looked a lot better. He looked spry. Yep. But at the same time, Marshawn probably going to them games knowing they're gonna give or take run them 10 times, maybe. Mm-hmm. But
I don't know. Maybe the Raiders' plan is to save him until the latter part of the season. When they get cold and shit like that, then they're gonna need a bell cow like that. Because I don't think Washington, or of course Rashard's not, but I don't think Washington is a bell cow.
No, sir.
Maybe they're saving him for later in the season, knowing that they can't pound him in the early part of the season. Otherwise, he probably wouldn't hold up the back end. Maybe that's their philosophy of why he's only running the ball about 13 times a game. But he won't be running it at all this week because he's going to be at home or in the stands with a ski mask on.
Looking at the stats, I tell you what stands out to me, Shawty. 8 penalties, 108 yards. Kansas City extended that game. Whoever 38 is, I should have pulled him up ahead of time, but I want to say he's a safety for them. He's horrible. Horrible.
I was having the corner, Emerson.
On the other side of Peters?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about on Oakland. Never mind. One of Oakland's corners is garbage, too.
Oakland won that game 2 times. Easily. That first pass interference on Crab, you ain't gonna call that late in the game. You ain't gonna call that.
Once you extend the arms, you're gonna get that flag every day. And he extended.
We can move on real quick, but real quick, last question: who drafted Michael Crabtree?
Niners.
I'm being a jerk.
Don't worry. Y'all game ain't on here, is it?
I took us off.
Y'all didn't even make the breakdown this week.
We pissed the bed, damn it. I'll say it. We pissed the bed. A dude threw 7 times and we lost. What the hell?
I was sitting there and real quick before we go to the next game, I was sitting there Sunday watching y'all game. And you know what I thought to myself, and this is real talk, no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all missed Ted again.
We really do. Who takes the top off the defense? Who?
I missed Ted again. I was noticing that watching because I was watching y'all's game, 1 o'clock slate. I was watching y'all's game, and I was watching the Saints and the Packers. And Ted Ginn was over there eating, and I was just sitting there like, Panthers missed that.
You legit. I thought the same thing. Because none of these cats are running deep routes anymore. We ain't got nobody deep.
Right.
Cam needs that to take the safety out the box, but that's another story. All right, we're going to move to the next game. The Buffalo Bills and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big homie. Buffalo is 4-2. Buffalo. I know neither one of us thought that going into the season.
Nah, I want to say I had them at 6-10, 7-9.
I think we had Miami at 3rd because they made the playoffs last year. No, we had Miami at 2nd, Buffalo at 3rd, and the Jets, they weren't supposed to win a game.
Yeah, Jets were last year.
They weren't supposed to win a game. Tyrod, 20 33, 266, a touchdown. Only got sacked 1 time. They got the running game going. I don't know who this cat was he was throwing the ball to, but they're 4-2.
Yeah, I mean, and they were up pretty good in this game. Tampa made a nice little comeback toward the end. They actually had a chance to win it before they turned the ball over on their last possession and set Buffalo up.
Brake dropped that ball, didn't he?
I turned to the game after they had already turned it over, so I don't know exactly who called it.
I think it was Brake. He fumbled.
Okay.
And gave them the ball back pretty much at the 50-yard line. All they had to do was get like 20 yards for that field goal.
Right.
I want to say it was Brake.
That was a big chance for Tampa to make a big comeback and try to get their season turned around because they were one of the hotbed teams coming in, as far as making some noise, and they sitting at 2-4.
We're gonna talk about them on Thursday night because y'all in trouble. Y'all in trouble. LaShawn McCoy got it going. O.J. Howard for a Tampa, 6 balls, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. That 1 touchdown he caught, he was wide damn open. At least 70 yards down the field.
I think that was busted coverage.
Yeah. I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and we got to see how the rest of this season fall out. But Jameis, where you at with him?
Honestly, for this game, I can only look at the numbers. And every time, if I don't see a Tampa game, I'm looking at the numbers just to see the turnovers. I see he only had 1 pick. They had 3 turnovers total. One of them
had to be 2 fumbles.
Huh?
It was 2 fumbles outside of his 1 pick.
Right. So we know Brake had 1. Did he turn the ball over the 3rd one? I
can't recall that 3rd one. I ain't gonna flex.
But I can't really speak to this game because I didn't watch it. So I see he had 384 passing, 112 quarterback rating. Again, stats don't really mean a lot unless you put them in the proper context. I will say this. I was following the game score-wise. I know that they were down, and I know that they came back. And I'm pretty sure he was the head of the comeback. So
I'm about to say something bold.
They're still inconsistent.
Jameis is turning into the number 1 we're behind 4th quarter quarterback ahead of Blake Bortles. Because all of his shit seemed like trash when they behind. And I hate to say that, but they be behind in most of them games in the 4th. You think about the New England game. He had nothing going into the 4th. Most of them yards came late. Now, they had this game won. This game was over with. Brake messed this up. But it's going to look the way it looks because they lost.
Right. I mean, another way to look at it is if you want to try to put a positive spin on it, the things that they're able to do once they get behind, they need to clean that up so they can do it when they're not behind.
I agree.
So it's still a lot. It's still the potential there to do that. They just got to put it all together.
I should have looked at the injury list too because they was hurting last week. I don't know if everybody played this week, but they got hit with the injury bug this season.
Right, and from the looks of this, I guess I'm only looking at Doug Martin's carries, but 20 carries for 49 yards. They didn't establish no run game, apparently.
No, not at all.
Run game is definitely helpful. So, at 2-4, man, they got to do something.
We got them next week. When I say we, I mean the Carolina Panthers. They can get right that game because that's in Tampa. With us coming in, they can get right. They moved to 3-4, beating us, and we go to 4-4. They right back in the thick of it because that division is extremely tight. Extremely.
Yeah, always. Yeah, y'all at 2-4. Yeah. I mean, sorry, they at 2-4. Y'all 4-3. Falcons 3-3. Saints are 4-2. So yeah, I mean, still tight. Still tight. 100. The only division that's really getting away from anybody is the NFC East. Well, I'm sorry, and the NFC East and the AFC North. Because you got the Steelers got a 2-game lead, and then in the NFC East, the Eagles winning last night, they got a solid 2-game lead. They 6-1. The Cowboys at 3-3. I guess I will bless your ass. Bless you.
No, I agree with you though. The Steelers are walking away with this, and I don't see no opposition.
No, not the way that they playing right now. It's funny you see how just a couple of games can get teams right on the right track. We was ready to kind of, I ain't gonna say write the Steelers off, but we was like, hey, they might have some problems. Remember, Le'Veon was just kind of complaining a little bit about his carries, and then 2 weeks in a row they got them carries up, and then they back where they should be.
Only thing I hate about that is that we were scared. We should have took them against Kansas City because we both wanted to, but we stepped off from it. Because we saw that as the get right game, and they done somewhat righted the ship since then.
Yeah, they played two great games, and I guess we can unless you had something else to touch up on that Tampa Buffalo game. I see that's actually the next game on the breakdown list. Cincinnati and the Steelers. Steelers winning 29-14.
Yeah, let's jump on into that.
With the margin being the 5 field goals that they kicked after they scored 14 points. They didn't score any more touchdowns after that. After that second one.
All right, I'm gonna ask you this because I know you are a Joe Mixon fantasy owner. Why won't they get that boy the ball? He's clearly better than both of them dudes.
Well, they didn't get a lot of opportunities second half to do much of anything. The coach and one of the coaches came out. I think it was the offensive coordinator. I forget his name. He came out and kind of broke it down of why Mixon didn't really get the ball. I think they came out, their first 3 possessions were, I want to say, interception, 3 and out, or 3 and out, interception, something like that. They were on the field in 3 possessions quickly. And then you look at the time of possession, because I'm pretty sure Pittsburgh killed them in that because the way Le'Veon was running the ball. Yeah, the Steelers won time possession by almost 11 minutes. So when you don't even have the ball, I think the Bengals offense had 51 offensive snaps, I think it was.
Yes, sir.
It's not a lot of opportunities to go around.
11 first downs the entire game.
Right.
11.
So, that means I ain't even got to look at it, but I'm going to look at it anyway. That tells me you're not converting on third down. 3 for 11. You turning the ball over. You had 2 turnovers. And like I said, Pittsburgh ran the ball well. So you combine all that, yeah. They only had the ball 24 minutes, and that's why Mixon only had 7 carries. But in that first half, he looked good.
It ain't really much to say about this game. They're getting back to the fundamentals. They're taking the ball out of Ben's hands. They're putting it in Le'Veon's, and they're going to AB.
Right.
I'm going to ask you this. Does Marvin Lewis get fired this year?
No. Marvin Lewis is like a unicorn or some shit. Until I see it come across the screen or pop up on Twitter until Adam Schefter or somebody report that Marvin Lewis has been fired, I ain't gonna believe it. There's no such thing as a hot seat for him.
Okay, let's touch on this Martavius Bryant.
I got him. He's on my he's on my list.
We'll get to him later. Then we'll keep moving.
He's on my list for champs and chumps.
We'll move on to the Redskins and Philly. All right. Carson Wentz got it done, 34-24. Kirk Cousins, he did not have a bad game.
No.
30 of 40, 303 yards, 3 TDs, 1 INT. He was sacked 4 times. But I swear they lost 2 linemen in that game.
Yeah, they lost 2. It may have been more than that. Yeah, they obviously had, because the game was kind of close, kind of back and forth, and then those linemen started going out, and then you can just see Philadelphia pass rush just kept eating them up, and
as a Carolina fan, I can tell you, because I watched this last Thursday, that Philly pass rush, that shit's legit. Fletcher Cox is a grown man.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and they were Gruden was alluding to it during the telecast as well. That they keep fresh bodies in there rotating. So when pretty much your whole second
7
unit,
bodies they're rotating.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah. Then you combine that with not having to be on the field a whole lot for a whole lot of plays. Yeah, they're gonna be fresh, and that's what happened that second half. Washington just couldn't hold up after a while.
I saw what you said earlier, and it's legit in regards to Philly being in control of the East. Ain't nobody catching them, right?
No, it's possible. I mean, they still got some division.
Number 2, you got that pulled up.
Yeah, I can pull that schedule back up. I know Dallas is number 2.
Dallas is number 2 at 3-3.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me pull up Philly's schedule real quick. They got us this week, so they shouldn't. They should win that game. And then they have they got a string of some games coming up that could go either way. I'll read them off real quick.
Go ahead.
After they play the Niners, they got the Broncos coming in to Philly.
That's a win.
They got to go to the Cowboys. That's going to be a big game.
That's a loss.
That's a Sunday night game. They got the Bears coming into Philly.
Trap game.
Then they got 3 road games. They got to go to Seattle, to the Rams, to the Giants, and then
they lose 2 of them 3.
And then they finish up with Oakland and the Cowboys again. So now they ain't running away with it.
No, you're right.
They got a solid cushion.
You're right.
They got a solid cushion.
Dallas should have split with them. They should. They're gonna lose that game in Seattle, and they're gonna lose that game at the Chargers. I don't know what Denver's gonna do.
The Chargers? No, they play the Rams, not the Chargers.
I'm sorry, the Rams. Okay, even better.
Okay.
They go to the Coliseum and play the Rams. They're gonna lose that game.
So, and if Denver can get right, we know what that defense can do. You factor in, it's going to be some injuries. At some point, maybe the Giants start playing with some pride. We saw it when they played Denver. We didn't expect them to win that game. So, who knows? It's still a long season, but they're putting themselves in a pretty good position right now.
It kind of feel like, this is off subject, but it kind of feel like the Giants are playing with a bit of pride right now. They was in that game Sunday.
Last couple games they have been. You're right.
Compared to what they were doing.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. And it makes you wonder if they still had Odell and they still had Brandon Marshall, with how they are at least playing with some pride right now. What could their season have looked like if they hadn't had all those injuries and not started off the way that they did? But
they ain't got no choice. They got to pay Odell. They're going to cash him out as the number 1 player. They ain't got no choice. Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Kirk Cousins. What's Washington's record right now?
I'm pretty sure they probably 3-3. Hold on. Yeah, they're 3-3 too.
Okay. We feel pretty confident he's gonna leave, right?
I mean, more than likely, and if this season they don't make the playoffs, he's definitely gone. But yeah, I would say he's probably gone.
Would y'all give up y'all number 1 for him? Would y'all give up y'all 1?
For what? Why would we have to do that?
I agree. So they got to get something at this point. Because if he's out, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. Why would you give up something when you can have him free to?
Right, I'm saying, well, they're not going to trade him by next Tuesday.
Now, I guess that's the thing with me. Y'all done sat there and paid him the franchise tag. He can leave this summer. If you franchise him again, that's what, $30 million?
Right.
They screwed them. They really screwed themselves. They have no leverage.
Yeah.
The only thing they can do is pay him. That's it. That's like a team of monkeys up there running that team.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I said, if they wanted to trade him, the time to do it was before the season started.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. You can't put this game on him. It's not like he lost this game for them. They got no running game. Their wide receivers, Terrell Pryor, are trash. The tight ends did the work for him.
Yeah, Vernon Davis and Jordan Reed. The thing I'm seeing with Cousins, though, especially watching that game last night, he holds the ball too fucking long sometimes.
Don't get me wrong. He's not good. He's just in a good position. It's a big difference.
No, I mean, I think he's a good quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback.
I mean, he's serviceable, but it's almost like he has good leverage, but he's not elite. And he'll win you some games. He'll get you 9 and 10. But his leverage, that's elite leverage.
Oh, yeah, man, he's not elite. Yeah, because he's not top 3 or 4 guys now.
You think he's top 10?
Top 10?
Yeah.
I mean, off the top of my head.
He does not suck.
Off the top of my head, I would probably put him – I probably can find a way to put him in the top 10.
Okay.
Like I say, I think if he had – I mean, to me, Washington, they've got some weapons like Jordan Reed and what have you. But there's just something always about Washington that they just don't put it together. I don't really like Jay Gruden as a coach.
I don't either.
I really don't care for him at all. So, you know.
I think they missed Josh on – they missed Josh the corner, Norman.
Yeah.
And I didn't put a lot of stock in him going there because it wasn't like Alshon Jeffrey hurt him last night. Boy, he's hustling backwards. What type of deal he gonna get this coming year? But I think they missed him in a sense last night.
Yeah, I mean, because it was really Ertz and Aguilar killing them.
But he's slot. Josh ain't gonna follow him to the spot.
So I'm not sure how much of a difference Josh would have made. But anytime you pull an all-pro corner off of the field, it's going to affect your defense. So now you got a number 2 corner trying to be a number 1. Now you got a third corner who may see 15 snaps a game. Now he playing 30 or 40 snaps a game. You know what I'm saying? It's a trickle-down effect when you have a number 1 guy start like that go out.
I did. So we both. So you think they're not going to trade? I mean, of course they're not going to trade him between now and Tuesday.
But I mean, they got to ride this out. Like I said, they still in the hunt. Even though I don't see them as being a team that's going to win the division, they're going to look at it. Hey, we only 2 games out with all these games to play. They're going to ride it out. Which they, I mean, they put themselves in this position. They should have already paid that man.
Because your options are ride this shit out or pay this man $30 million. Those are terrible options. Terrible. And
depending on where they fall next season, they could be looking at it as a plus because you got a lot of quarterbacks coming out more than likely. You know, they could look at drafting the guy and put him on a rookie deal. Everybody else on that offense is pretty young. So
this off subject, but I'm gonna ask you anyway. Does Carson Palmer make it back
this year?
I'm talking about even if he plays this year. Is this it? I mean, if they're talking 8 weeks, he was already scared this summer talking about he didn't know if he wanted to play.
I don't think he's coming. I don't think he come back this year because I don't think they're going to be in a position that's like still challenging for a playoff spot. So I don't think it would be any incentive for him to come back. Now we're talking about next year. Then you know that's a coin flip because I'm pretty sure. I mean, it seems like he always gets injured and ends his season. At some point, you got to be like, you know what? I done made my money. This is
He done seen a lot of bread too.
a lot of money. I'm getting up there in age. Their Super Bowl window is all but closed. They're not charging for no Super Bowl.
Let me
So
tell you how old Carson Palmer is. Carson Palmer played with OJ. He played with Ocho Cinco. All right. You got anything else football related before we move on to these champs and chumps?
no, I'm good. We can move on.
Yes, sir. All right. Champs and chumps for the week. I'm going to run mine off real quick. I got Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper balled. He had a damn good game against Kansas City last week. He wasn't on any of my fantasy teams, but I'm pretty sure most of you cats did not start him. Hey, man, tough break. Chicago Bears defense. Y'all kicked our ass last week, and I'm talking as a Carolina Panthers fan. Y'all kicked our ass. I got a legit defense. And Dwayne Wade. Self-awareness is dope. When you realize, bro, I ain't built to play 35 minutes, and I damn sure can't hit a three. That's dope.
Yeah, that's a good call because, like you said, I forgot who was kind of breaking it down. When you got LeBron on the floor, you need people that's going to be able to spot up and shoot. You don't need a lot of slashers on the floor.
No, sir.
LeBron and you got Derrick Rose and D Wade, man, in your wings. Both of them are slashing type, cut to the basket, drive type players. It just clogs everything up.
Yes, sir.
It's good to put J.R. Smith in there, get your spacing back. A lot of changes going on after 3 or 4 games. It's weird to me that
you shouldn't have been starting to begin with.
Very true. It's kind of a novelty thing. Hey, you the OG. You know what I'm saying? You're a 3-time champ, future Hall of Famer, up-team time All-Star. We're going to start you. You LeBron boy, we're going to start you. Ty Lue put an end to that shit real quick. Now, if David Blatt,
I like that about him.
If David Blatt had still been there, we'd be 20, 30 games, and they'd still be trying to figure this shit out.
All right, let me run through my chumps real quick. Vontaze Burfict. Bruh. He didn't get a suspension, but what the hell?
I kind of wanted to give him a little bit of slack on this one because I see players all the time trying to get off of piles and they throw arms, they throw their legs up or whatever. So I'm glad the league didn't suspend him for this because if they had it kind of would have just been a reputation thing, I think. But still, with your history, man, you got to still move a little smarter, man. You got to move a little smarter because they could have easily went the other way. And what could he have said?
You shut me down last time when I wanted to put him in the OG Wild Animal Hall of Fame. Is he there?
I did. I don't know how. He one of the original members. When we finally make a trophy or a statue, it's going to be of him. Like they got the Larry O'Brien trophy for the NBA championship, the Lombardi trophy. It's going to be the Vontaze Burfict Wild Animal Award.
Dig that. All right, I got Carolina, Atlanta, Indiana, Arizona, the Giants, and Denver. Y'all couldn't even put up 10 points. Y'all was 7 and below last week. Get it together. And my final chunk, USC football. I don't like Brian Kelly. We made it clear we don't like Brian Kelly on this show.
Hell no. We do not fuck with Brian Kelly.
Brian Kelly and Notre Dame kicked y'all goddamn ass last week.
No, they got a good team.
Yeah, they do. They kicked y'all ass. I watched a lot of that game.
Uh-huh.
Sam Darnold.
How many weeks I've been saying, hey, he need to bring his ass back to school?
You need to come back to school, cuz. You need to come back to school.
And I think today another article came out because remember when before the NFL season started, or maybe 1 week into it, there was talk about the Jets tanking to get him, and he was like, I don't know about that. I don't think y'all should tank to get me. I think he's really leaning toward coming back, especially now that this season is not going the way that they thought it was going to go. He definitely needs to come back next year. Definitely.
Am I wrong to think that you should come back if you're let me change that. If you're looking to take a cat number 1, and he's not even in the Heisman, something's wrong with that.
That's a hard one because Heisman always only equates to NFL. You look at a lot of the Heisman winners over the years, they don't equate to NFL stars.
That's true. That's true.
So, it's just for me. It's just his decision making and stuff like that. He's got to improve on that, and hopefully he recognizes that, and he definitely brings his ass back to school. And you couple that along with how many quarterbacks are supposed to be coming out next year. If I'm Sam Darnold, I will come back
because he'll be number 1 the year after.
Very possible.
All right, go and run your champs and chumps on.
All right, so for my champs, I'm gonna give it to an opponent who came in and by the time the first quarter was over, had took our heart. Shout out to Zeke Elliott, came in there and did work. Even though I got some people on my defense I need to have a talk with because they can't fucking tackle. Shout out to Zeke.
Real quick before you continue, did Ruben Patterson come back in that game? I saw him. They walked into the locker room. Did he come back in that game?
No, they held him out. He had a rib injury. The MRI came back negative, so he's good. No broken ribs or nothing, so he should be fine for Sunday. But yeah, another scare. You just came back off an injury, so don't want to get tagged with the injury prone and be dealing with this shit all the time with him. So that's the first thing came to my mind. Gotcha. My second, my next champ is going to be the Patriots. Came in and completely shut Atlanta down. Now I have a conspiracy. Y'all think that fog was real. Y'all think that fog was real. I'm calling bullshit. I said they had a fog machine somewhere in the back pumping that shit out.
I had the sound off on the game. I was watching the other TV, and I saw that shit. I was like, is my TV fucking up? What's going on?
So, you can't put nothing past the Patriots. I think they put that damn fog in, knowing that Dan Quinn put Sarkisian dumbass up in the upstairs in the booth. He probably couldn't see shit.
Was it dumbass like this? I can't see.
That's probably why he called that damn jet sweep on 4th and goal down 20. Dumbass. My next champ is going to be Penn State.
Yes,
coming in and giving Michigan yet another big game loss. Saquon Barkley is the favorite for the Heisman. They've got a pretty good team up there in Penn State. They got a big game this week against Ohio State. So shout out to Penn State. And I had one extra one. Shout out to the Jacksonville Savages. Not 1, not 2, not 3. I ain't going all the way up. They had 10 damn sacks.
Damn.
10. 10 sacks.
I ain't even look at them stats. I saw they whooped their ass. I ain't even look at the stats. 10?
They had 10 sacks, dog.
Shout out to that boy T.Y. Hilton for calling them suckers out.
And speaking of T.Y. Hilton, that's the first candidate on my chump list.
Damn.
Don't call your offensive line out, homeboy.
It's like he shouldn't have, but he should.
Hey, he's caught 3 balls, and I think the last 2 or 3 games combined. They said he can't be calling nobody.
Yeah, you're right. He can't call him out, but I get where he was going. And of course, he retracted it the next day, of course.
And that's the part that really gets you on the chump list right there. You said what you meant the first time. Don't come back and you know what I'm saying, and bring it back. Don't do that.
New generation, cuz.
Right. My second chump, Martavis Bryant. Step in front of the congregation, young man. Let me take a sip.
I don't understand this at all.
I think we said this last week after his girlfriend was tweeting and everything, after the first round of I Want to Be Traded tweets came out. Again, the Pittsburgh Steelers have stood by you, smoking weed for the better part of your career.
Heck, didn't he miss like 4 games a year before and 16 last year, so at least 20 games.
Right. Yeah, we understand you want the ball. We get it. We understand because you got contracts and stuff coming up. You want to show and showcase your talent. I get it from a competitive standpoint. I understand. Trust me, I do. But at the same token, you cannot be out here bitching, especially after wins. Both of these times he's coming out bitching is after wins. That just shows that you're selfish and that you ain't really a team guy. And if you think for 1 second that the Pittsburgh Steelers of all teams are going to fall in or cave into your demands, yo, man, you got another thing coming because it ain't happening. Mike Tomlin reiterated again today, we are not trading Martavis Bryant.
I'm going to ask you this. Shawty, can he run anything beside a go?
I think he can. Now, why they not getting him involved, I don't know. Yeah, they like Juju, but that's another thing. You can't be calling out your teammates either. Man, I'm five times better than Juju. What you talking about? I mean, going back and forth with a fan on social media, pretty much throwing your teammate under the bus, and then again, you want to come back and retract and try to clean it up after the fact. No, man, that's sucker shit. And stay off of Twitter, man. Just stay off Twitter. I don't get you young cats. You got to tweet, record, everything. Cut that shit out.
All day long. All day long. All right, people, we changed it up a bit. We gotta speed this up. Our Piss the Bed award for the week, we decided to start combining this. And we both agreed. The Atlanta Falcons. They are our Piss the Bed award for the week. Y'all had almost a year to stew and prepare for this rematch. And y'all go up there for 7 damn points up. That's it.
7, and that 7 came in garbage time.
That's it. 7. We're gonna leave that at that because we up against it time wise, but I'm gonna say this. Y'all better beat the Jets.
Right, I'll say, yeah, we covered a good bit of the Falcons, but like the man just said, you better beat the Jets.
Y'all better beat the Jets. It's gonna be a whole nother conversation next Tuesday if y'all don't beat the Jets.
Boy. They don't beat the Jets. We're gonna have to get a couple of homies that we know, some fans on here, so we can hear it, so we can let them rant.
I want them to come on. I want them to explain to me what's going on with them, but y'all better beat the Jets. All right, let's jump into last call, aka NBA talk, because it's football season. We got to talk a little basketball. Big homie, your Steph got suspended for throwing that damn mouthpiece.
I think if it would have hit the ref, he probably would have. But they spoke pretty loudly with the fine. I mean, 50 racks ain't nothing to sneeze at.
He got $204 million or something.
I mean, that's true. I mean, well, the game suspension is equating to what? Maybe a little more than 50 racks? I mean, if we're just talking money, I mean, it
ain't shit. It ain't shit. I feel
like, NBA is a little different. You can miss 1 out of 82 games. In the NFL, you get suspended for a game. It's a whole different ball game.
The only person in the NFL who don't care about game checks is Vontaze Burfict. He don't care.
Yeah, Marshawn.
All right, next question. Are the Suns the NBA's biggest dumpster fire right now?
They probably have surpassed the Kings.
The Kings seem to have a direction. I cannot think of a team in the NBA right now that doesn't have. Well, the Knicks, they're close.
Yeah, but the Suns have been trending down this road for a minute, and the problem that I have, I saw it. Did you see the GM's interview yesterday?
That dumbass sat there and hurt Eric Bledsoe's trade value off top.
You fire a coach after 3 games. Okay, now that's one problem. That shows some incompetency level there and alone in itself. 3 games and you firing the coach already? Okay. Now, Eric Bledsoe, of course, everybody know Eric Bledsoe had a tweet, "I don't want to be here," and just left it at that. Now, we all can speculate what we thought it was about. And of course, a lot of that is driven off, reports of things that we see. Now, apparently, Eric Bledsoe said that the tweet was about he was somewhere, I want to say a hair salon with his girl, waiting on her to get her hair done, and he didn't want to be there. I can understand that, but I don't understand this. I can understand if you were in the mall with her, but why the fuck would you go to the hair salon with your girl?
Give her the bread. Let her go.
You know what I'm saying? That ain't adding up to me, one. But for the GM comes out in the interview and says, Eric said he was in the hair salon or whatever. That's what the tweet was about. I don't believe him. He said this in front of reporters.
Wasn't that the stupidest shit?
Dumbass. Even if you don't believe it, that's not something as a GM that you come out and say in front of the press. Again, showing the incompetency level. So I don't know what the fuck they're going to do. They claim they're going to trade him.
They send him home. They ain't got no choice.
Yeah, they send him home. They got to play him or trade him. So I don't blame him for wanting to get out of there. Where they going to send him? I don't know.
I don't know either.
But we'll see. Yeah, the Suns probably are the biggest dumpster fire in the league, and your Knicks are a very close second.
How does Chicago fix this situation with Mirotic and Portis? Can they fix it? He broke that boy's face, cuz.
I mean, he broke his face, but Mirotic got to understand, you run up, get done up. I'm just saying, and apparently Chicago coaching staff, front office, or whatever you want to say, has a little bit of blame in this to me, because apparently this feud been going on for a while, and they have done nothing to diffuse it. So this was the boiling point.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So this was kind of the boiling point. So the only way that they can fix it is either, have a sit down with them two cats, see if they can iron out their differences and move on. If not, you got to trade one of them.
You think they should just lock up one-on-one in a storage room or something?
No, they're not gonna do that because we know how that's gonna end. we see how that's gonna end.
You stupid.
If he got his face broke off a one-hitter quitter, what the hell is gonna happen if they lock him in a room? Okay, you got a cat from, I don't know where Mirotic is from, but he's from somewhere across the water. And Bobby Porter's from somewhere, I want to say in the country somewhere, probably been running barefoot all his life.
Italy, Arkansas. You stupid. No. All right, early impressions, Ben Simmons, Lonzo Ball. How you feel? It's only been 3 games, but I did not know, and I will freely admit this. I didn't know Ben Simmons was this good.
Yeah. You've been asking me about him over the course of, the end of the NCAA season coming in. And I always felt that he could be this. He got the talent. He just had a garbage-ass team and a garbage-ass coach at LSU. So I don't think he was all the way dialed in a lot. Now, he does still need to improve on his jumper. But if you've seen him, people, these first couple games, he's got the handle. He's got the court vision. He can get to the basket.
He's a legit 6'10" point guard. Legit.
Absolutely. And right now he's shooting, 49% from the field, 17, 11, and 7. As a rookie, them ain't numbers to sneeze at. Now, we move over and talk about Lonzo. Of course, his deficiency is going to be, right now, is going to be defense, of course. You got everybody coming at him. But I think that's only going to make him better.
I agree.
Honestly. So, as much as people keep saying, we're going to come at him, okay, go ahead. But you're really feeding the beast, because that's how players get better, is when you keep, you keep coming at him. Because we saw how he responded the second game. Once he get a feel for it and everything, you can see his passing ability. He's going to be straight. I mean, what is he averaging? Is this his averages, 13, 9, and 9?
Those are good numbers. Those are his averages.
Okay. So even when he's not scoring a lot, he's gonna board, because he's about 6'5", and he's gonna drop them dimes. That's why I always said, before, a lot of people have said it, but he kind of puts you in the mind of Jason Kidd. He ain't no elite scorer. He can score at times, but he's got to shoot a little bit better, though. 35% from the field, 29% from 3. I want to see that 3-point mark get to about 35% at least, and at least about 45% field goal-wise. But I think Lonzo's going to be fine, man. I think he's going to be fine.
The only thing I'll say about him in regards to Jason Kidd didn't get a jump shot till damn near year 13, give or take.
Yeah.
So
right now, Lonzo's kind of a streaky shooter.
Yeah.
But like I said, I think all that can improve. I think the young man's going to be fine.
Yeah. And these stats are inflated because that Phoenix game, they ain't playing no damn defense at all.
Yeah.
So, all right, the undefeated. I like that site. They remixed the top 50 NBA players. They took a couple cats out. Only cats I put on here that we know are Robert Parrish and Clyde Drexler. I highlighted 2 names on this list. Steve Nash and Steph Curry. I don't believe them cats are top 50 right now. And I know these lists are subject to your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But Steve Nash and Steph Curry right now?
I mean, I'll have to look at the entire list, but I mean, if I was just playing devil's advocate trying to make a case, I can see why they would put Steve Nash in there. I mean, he is one of the better point guards of the last, 10, 15 years probably?
Give or take.
You know what I'm saying?
2 solid years when he won MVP.
And that's got a lot to do with it. Some of those Phoenix teams, they didn't quite get to the pinnacle, but they had some good seasons. Steph Curry, of course, with everything going around with him, he's been highly considered by a lot as the best shooter to ever shoot.
I think Steph should be there like a couple years from now, not right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, when you're talking about that many players, it's all subjective. I almost said subjective. It's all subjective. And like you said, it's just opinion based. So, anytime, we're talking about the entire league, even if they're not in the top 50, they're in the top 100. And you're talking about how many decades the NBA has been around. If you can say you're one of the top 100 players in the NBA to ever lace them up, hey,
let me ask you this.
There ain't nothing to sneeze at.
If you had to pick right now, Gary Payton and Steve Nash.
Gary Payton? What kind of – damn, I almost said the N-word. What kind of question is that?
That's my point. He's top 50, and I take Gary Payton over him 10 times over 10.
They both can't be in the top 50, though?
They ain't got Gary Payton in that top 50.
Whoa.
See what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying now. Okay, yeah.
Gary Payton over Steve Nash?
Yeah, okay. Now, okay, I got you. Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
And Steph's going to be there in a couple of years. But Gary Payton?
Yeah, I can see why Steph's there right now because he's got 2 championships, 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
Shooting records and what have you. I can see why Steph's there. And I can see why Steve Nash was there until you told me that Gary Payton ain't on the list.
No, he ain't on that top 50 at all.
Nah.
Shit.
No.
It's almost blasphemous, but damn, does Reggie Miller deserve to be there over Clyde Drexler? That's tough, ain't it?
That's a tough one.
They be shitting on Clyde, man. Clyde Drexler was solid in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. And Clyde on the Dream? No, Clyde went on. Yes, he was on the Dream Team.
On the Dream Team, yeah.
Wait a minute, and they took him off the list?
Off. Him and Robert Parrish. I ain't even put them other cats because we ain't know them.
Okay.
But we ain't see them.
Yeah, the more we start, I know you say that you like this site, and I look at them from time to time too, but the more we're talking about it, the more I want to say Undefeated is full of shit. You're telling me Gary Payton ain't on this list and Steve Nash is, and you telling me a dream teamer, an initial dream teamer, not Dream Team 3.
Right.
An initial dream teamer is not on in the top 50? No.
Well, let me ask you this. If you had a game to win, one game, would you take Clyde Drexler or Reggie Miller? That's tough.
If I had a game to win, I might lean toward Reggie.
See, that's what makes it tough because I think I would go Reggie if I had a game to win too.
Yeah.
So that one's tough, but that Steve Nash shit, I don't agree with that.
But I think Clyde was a little bit more of a complete player, though.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, but you got me mad. Now that's Steve Nash over Gary Payton shit now.
They be shitting on Gary Payton. Last question. It's only been 3 games in, but where would you rate Giannis, the Greek Freak, right now? Greek Freak. Has he passed Kawhi for number 2?
I started to text you some choice words when I seen this list, when I seen this question.
What's up? I like Giannis.
3 games.
It's 3 games, yes, but I liked him last year.
Same spot I had him last year.
What's that?
Behind LeBron, behind KD, behind Kawhi, not in the top 5.
Okay, so you got him at 4. Because I had the same thing. I had that on the list, but I don't know who's 5. And I don't know if I like him better than Kawhi. I kind of like him better than Kawhi, cuz.
I don't. I mean, Kawhi's done it on the biggest stage. And for a lot of these rankings and things like that, that comes into play for me at least. I have to have seen you do it on a big stage in crucial moments. And as of yet, Giannis hasn't got his team out of the first round of playoffs.
That ain't going to happen.
But, talent-wise, he's there. And if he keeps, going where he's going right now, then he's going to be just fine. He's kind of been people have been saying he's been on the cusp for the last couple of years. And maybe this is the year that he breaks out and goes to that next level.
How close is it? Him and Kawhi, how close?
It's not close for me right now.
I like Kawhi. I'm not shitting on Kawhi. Because what he turned into last year, his offensive production with that defense, I like him.
Right. And, Kawhi's added that jumper to his game. So, Don't get me wrong. I like the Greek Freak too. I'm just not ready to move him into elite status just yet.
Answer that last question though, because I think we both agree on the order. Well, who the hell is 5? I don't know who's 5. And I'm not even BSing you on that. I really don't know who's 5 right now.
All right, so if we take a look, if I remember correctly, we look at the top 5 MVP race last year. So you had Russell Westbrook.
Right.
Harden came in second.
Right.
KD
was third, I believe.
Okay, so you got Westbrook, Kawhi, KD, LeBron. You putting Harden over Giannis?
That's tough.
So that's I think right around the 5 mark is where you can maybe start to make some arguments. Harden, Giannis, who else?
Steph right there at 5?
Steph, you can put him in there in that 5 to 8 range right there. Let's say Giannis top 10. I put him in the top 10.
Okay, it comes down to 4 players then. Giannis, Steph, Harden, Westbrook. At 5.
No, Westbrook is above them.
Well, he's 5 then.
I mean, I got LeBron, KD, Westbrook, Kawhi.
Oh, you got Westbrook over Kawhi.
I do. Westbrook, Kawhi, and then we can start talking about Harden, Giannis,
Steph.
Yeah, right. Yeah, as of right now, yeah. Now, some people will throw their record and their team are not that great, so I think he gets left out. But as a pure talent wise, Anthony Davis is talented enough. If he was on a better team, to be there, he's got talent, but he don't have the team
at all.
That drives a lot of these conversations as well. How well is your team doing? So, Cat, a couple years, Cat's gonna be.
I like Cat.
That boy Embiid.
God, I like Joel Embiid.
That boy Embiid, nice. It's a lot of good young talent in the league, man. I think the league is in good hands for years to come.
Yes, sir. Let's get up out of here. I done got you talking. My bad.
Hey, man, it's all good. That's what we do. Last thing for last call before we do our plugs, brand ourselves, and all that. I don't know what inning is in. I can check the score. Who you got in the World Series? I'm going with Dodgers hat on.
I want to see Yasiel Puig with a World Series ring running wild in L.A. I need that in my life.
I haven't even watched as much playoff baseball as I wanted to.
We normally mess with it in October, but it seems like it was on the low this year.
I think the NBA season starting earlier, us doing the shows and having to do prep work for that, watching NFL throughout the week, I think that kind of took away from my baseball watching. So that played a part in it. But I'm gonna go with Houston. I don't know what about them. I know record-wise, I think these were the 2 best teams in the league throughout the year. It's kind of I just want to see them win because the city just been through a lot through the hurricane, and my sister lives in Houston. There it is.
They've been stuck for like 15 years, so they should have nothing but first-round picks.
There you go. And I've seen the Kansas City Royals win a World Series. I've seen the Chicago Cubs win a World Series. So I want to see another team that historically has been pretty bad. I want to see another one win a ring. I'm tired of Boston and the Yankees, the Cardinals, them same teams winning over and over again. So I want to see H-Town win.
Dig that. You can reach me at Rike6000 on Twitter. Holla at me. I talk sports.
Right. And it's your boy Diego Barishnikov. Reach me at Diego Barish on Twitter. Don't forget to check out the AA Sportscast IG, Facebook, and the Twitter pages. Also, we need some guests to come on the show in the next couple of weeks to talk to things. So if you want to be a guest on the show, shoot us a DM on Twitter or email us at aasportscast@gmail. Or I'll give you his phone number. You can just call him and flood his voicemail box.
I won't answer.
His number is 404. No, I'm not going to do that. Hey, But
hey, give them that Wednesday we off dance.
Hey, man, y'all know what time it is. We appreciate y'all people. We appreciate the love, man. It's AA Sports. Great sports, no goddamn chasing. We'll holler at y'all in 48 hours, man. Peace.